They live in deep joy, intense peace, a state of oneness, a state of connectedness to everything. So we need to do everything we can to begin to match their frequency, to begin to become like them. One of the most important things we need to do to make contact with the ETs is become more like them. We need to become more higher frequency, more joyful, more blissful, more expanded, more conscious, more loving, more compassionate, more kind, more centered in our heart's consciousness. Because the idea is that like attracts like. If you follow a lot of ufology, you'll know that you often hear these stories of like people will see ships in the skies, like in the middle of the city, but no one else sees them, and they're like, what's going on, am I imagining this? But it's actually like the idea is there's many dimensions of reality, and if people aren't on the right frequency, we cannot perceive what we're not the frequency of. So we're actually always seeing the reflections of the frequency of our reality. It's kind of like sometimes you might be walking down the street and you see someone you know, but they don't see you. It's because they're on a different frequency. They're not on your wavelength. So they're literally like probably lost in their mind, thinking about something negative or whatever, and they can't see you. So this is the law of attraction. We cannot perceive what we're not the vibration of. We attract to us, like attracts like. And so the best thing we can do to make extraterrestrial contact is to match their vibration, match their frequency by becoming, because they are like deeply spiritual beings. They view reality as all sacred. Like the reality is so sacred, so divine. Every moment of their life is a blessing, and they view life this way. They live in deep joy, intense peace, a state of oneness, a state of connectedness to everything. So we need to do everything we can to begin to match their frequency, to begin to become like them, so we can become on their wavelength. And when we're on their wavelength, when we're living like this, when we're living in joy and bliss and expanded consciousness and a state of oneness and connectedness and love and compassion, we will naturally begin to see them, because we're on the same wavelength. We'll begin to resonate on the same frequency. We'll begin to come together and have experiences with them. So what to do? Good question, I hear you ask. So the most important thing, first of all, is like having a job, a career, a life that you love, that you're passionate about. Like there's this kind of idea in our society that we need to be suffering in a job that we hate to help people, but that's not really helping at all, because the idea is that there's this grand plan, the grand plan for the transformation, for the awakening of human consciousness, and for the creation of a new fourth density love light golden age, or fifth dimensional love light golden age. And like our higher self, God, source, our souls know how this is going to happen, but we don't know how this is going to happen. It's like way too complicated for our physical mind to work out. So like one day spent following your heart, following your passion, is like at least 1,000, and probably a lot more times, at least 1,000, probably like 10,000 times more powerful than like 1,000 days spent doing a job you don't enjoy. Because the idea is that like that old system is falling away, and if you're doing a job that you don't enjoy, you're kind of just propping up a dying system, prolonging the agony of the old world. So there's really no benefit to doing a job that you don't enjoy. And so but when you begin to follow your passion, follow your joy, follow your excitement, follow your bliss, the idea is that you're actually working in alignment, working in a sync with your higher self, with your soul, with God, basically, and bringing your gift to reality. You're part of the puzzle. The idea is that like this new earth we're moving into is like one giant puzzle piece, and like when everyone's following their passion, their joy, their bliss, their excitement, everything will come together like a puzzle picture, like the cogs in a machine, and everything will begin to work like a symbiotic organism, and we'll begin to create this new reality. So we don't know how this is going to happen. We're not supposed to know. We're just supposed to carry out the action, the passion of our higher self, and this is the guidance of our higher mind, and it's guiding us to begin to create this new earth. And the ETs understand this, and the more you do this, the more you're going to experience joy, the more you're going to experience conscious expansion, the more you're going to have spiritual experiences, the more you're going to come into a state of oneness and joy and bliss, and realize that you're actually connected to all of creation and nothing is separate from you. And from here you begin to act from like love and compassion, and naturally serve the whole. So this is the most important thing. You've got to take that jump, like Neo in the Matrix. Like the Matrix is an analogy for like this process, this spiritual expansion we're going through. And like, you've got to take the jump. You've got to let go. You've got to let go, Neo. Fear, doubt. I can't remember what he says, but something like that. You've got to let go, Neo. Fear, doubt, self-belief. You got to take the jump. You got to take the jump into following your passion. You got to take the leap of faith. Also, like Indiana Jones in the movie, where he's got to get across that chasm. It's a very similar analogy to Neo in the Matrix, and like he can't see the path, but he takes the leap of faith, doesn't he? He steps out. If you've seen it, into the void. He steps out into the unknown, and he just takes a step, and just trusts that it's going to be there. And there's like this invisible floor, and after he's done that, he chucks the sand over it, doesn't he, and sees that there's this hidden path across the chasm. And it's kind of what it's like. You've really got to take the leap of faith. You've got to take the jump and step into this new reality. It's like the other scene in the Matrix I was just watching it, she's where he's getting the bug removed. He's under the bridge there, and it's raining, and she's like, "It's my way or the highway," and he's like, "Fine," and gets out of the car, and he's like, "Why should I stay?" And she's like, "Because that's the road you've been down, Neo. You know where that starts, you know where that ends. But do you want to discover the truth?" And he's like, he gets back in the car and lets it suck the bug out of his stomach. A lot of analogies here. So you've really got to take the leap of faith to begin to live more like them, to begin to follow your joy, your passion, your bliss. And this will raise your frequency, and you'll begin to see reality in another way. You'll begin to resonate on a higher frequency, and you'll begin to naturally have the contact experiences, if this is part of your joy, part of your interest, part of your excitement, to be part of first contact. So meditation is another great way to because we're really shifting from the mind to the heart. We're shifting from like third density, which is the solar plexus chakra, into fourth density, which is the heart's consciousness. And in this space, we have like much less thoughts, like because our mind is actually kind of triggered by the fear mechanisms of our lower chakras. But as we move into our heart consciousness, the more we spend meditating, and the more we spend time we spend focused on activating our heart chakra, which is part of the spiritual awakening, part of the natural spiritual awakening process. We're shifting into a state of like Zen awareness, Zen consciousness. We no longer have random thoughts that take control of our mind. And this is the consciousness of the new reality. We're shifting from our head to our heart. We're shifting from incessant thinking and negative neurotic belief systems that are kind of repellent, repugnant. They repel the ETs because it's a very low vibration and negative vibration, to a centered state of joy. Breathe, Neo, just breathe. And so this is the new consciousness we're moving into. So meditation, it's a great way to do this, but also detoxification of the system. If you can take on some detox, like move towards, at least for a period of time, like more of a raw vegan organic diet, perhaps use some herbal supplements or vitamin C or something like this to flush out our system, drink plenty of good water, eliminate mostly like meat, dairy products, processed foods for sure, and eat like a high prana, like a live food diet, at least for a period of time, to flush out the system. This is a great way to raise your frequency. Like I've been on a vegan detox diet for just over a week now, and I can't believe how much my mind has quietened down. And so this is the shift. This is the shift into fourth density. We're moving from a mind-based consciousness to a heart-based consciousness, where we're very zen, very centered, very joyful, very blissful, we're grateful for life, and we, from here we feel a natural connection to all of reality, and we begin to become aware that actually out there is actually in here. We actually have the direct experience that out there is actually within our own consciousness, and like this is very necessary for the contact experience, because this is how the ETs operate, and we start to realize that they're actually just an aspect of our own consciousness. And when we see that it's just our own consciousness, and they're actually just kind of like alarm clocks coming out our own consciousness to wake us up and remind us this, we begin to observe them more. So yeah, so like following your excitement, taking the jump from any things in your life that don't resonate. You need to follow what you know they're not resonating for you. You know you need to make the leap, and take the leap of faith. Make the jump into this new reality. Begin to embrace your passion, your excitement, your joy. Live in this new reality, and the trust that reality will support you. Trust. Make the jump. Take the leap